was abusive and she didn't know she was being abusive, and I had to call her out on being abusive, and I told her after we broke up that she was being abusive, and she was like, no, I'm not. And I would explain to her how she was being abusive, because I was like going through, therapy, and being honest and saying, hey, this is what happened. They're like, well, you know what that is? That is control, and she was controlling you, and that's abuse. So withholding sex is abuse, you guys, just so you know. It's also, she may have a little bit of a narcissism, like, it's just, we're not going to go deep into it, but I was diagnosed with depression. So, but now I'm like, did I even take my break? I was talking to my friend yesterday. I said, I don't even remember if I took my break. We're so busy today. I don't even remember if I took my break. And I would remember, because I need my breaks. I need to get and walk around. And then she's like, hey, I forgot to drink my water. I was like, dude, I have my water right here in front of me, and I don't even freaking drink it. It's just sitting here. And I said, but coffee on the other end, that beautiful brown liquid goes down this throat as much as possible, especially because I'm talking on the phone all day. My throat starts to get dried out or hurting and scratchy. So I drink it. No, I smoke something else, but that's different. And as of now, you can tell, like, I'm all blah, 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 because of the coffee. Maybe. I don't know. But ADD, and did you know that a sign of ADD is also your fucking messy room? Not only for depression, but ADD, because it's like, hey, do you know where this is? And I'm like, yeah, it's right here. And I am just flabbergasted, because as a child, growing up, my room was always a mess, and I always knew where everything was. And then with your drawers, if your drawers are open, that's a sign. Like, I would never close completely. I would never. It was like too hard for me to do it. And I was broke of that habit because of people I dated. And they're like, you're fucking keeping this damn door, these drawers open. Do something. Close the damn drawer. And I was like, oh, okay. So getting fucking yelled at a lot about having the drawers open worked. But I did it. It now close the drawers. Even now I look at them, I'm like, shit, I didn't close the drawer all the way, and I make sure. So I'm working really hard on myself with my ADD things. And with that, I am also, like, making sure to write in my calendar. I'm making sure to write everything down. Like, before, I don't even know what happened. Before 2019, I was amazing. I would be so on my calendar. And then all of a sudden, in 2019, I got into this relationship, and I stopped doing the things that I was doing all the time. I don't know what happened. A lot happened, actually. You could talk to my therapist about it. But anyway, but I stopped keeping my notebook, because it was kind of like my little journal. I would write things like, I made out with this person today. And my friend, Sabrina, I left my calendar there one day. And I was like, hey, I left my calendar. She's like, no, you didn't. One moment. See? Talking so much. One moment while I grab coffee. Please hold. I'm going to pause you for a second, you guys. You don't want to hear me gulping. Alright, so Sabrina, I had been over at her house because we used to do Monday night movies. Or TV, whatever. Oh, we should bring that back. I should tell her. And I'll actually leave the house and go see her on those days. But anyhow. So I was like, hey, I left my calendar there. She's like, no, you did not. I'm like, yes, I did. And it was missing for like a week or two. So finally she was like, hey, guess what I found? I was like, my fucking calendar? And she's like, yeah, it was over here. Sam, her husband, moved it while he was cleaning the counter. I'm like, okay, awesome. Bring it. I'm going to come by today and pick it up. So then I go to pick it up, and she was like, hey, you forgot to write something in here. And I'm like, what? So she opens up to the day that I told her something that I did with somebody. And so she's like, you made out with so-and-so on this day. And so she wrote it in the calendar, made out with so-and-so. And I was like, you're such an asshole. So yes, I do write things in there like that sometimes, because I don't remember things, and I like to keep track of things because I forget things. I haven't written anything really in here that I would like to expose myself with, but I have, did the podcast on Monday. I went to Waffle House, Goodwill, and Candace's, and I did my room, and I did homework on Tuesday. Did I do homework Tuesday? Yeah, I did. I did like 2 or 3 tests. I was very proud of myself. And then I did homework last night. So, I'm writing stuff. And then I missed my resource review session, resource, yeah, this was called resource review session yesterday, where I was supposed to, see, I'm telling you, ADD, I thought it was today, and it was both days, and now I fucking am missed out on not taking phone calls, but I was supposed to have resource review between 2:30 and 3, and I forgot all about it, and I was like remembering it. I even wrote it down, and I still forgot it, and I have it in my freaking computer, my work computer, where it has our schedules in it, and I still forgot. And it's getting worse, I feel, as I get older. But that's why I have my handy dandy fucking notebook here, right? My calendar, to let me know what the fuck is going on. So all these things as a kid that were people complained about, it was because I had ADD. These are symptoms of ADD. Crazy shit, right? All these fucking things that I did as a kid, it was ADD. The forgetting things. And now it's getting worse, like I said, with like forgetting keys, not knowing where they put them. Well, you know what? My keys are still missing. I don't know if you listened to that shot about it when our first episode that for the first, or well, it was the first episode to us being together. It's the second episode of the season 2, episode 2, I believe. And I was talking about how my keys are missing. My main keys that I had Candace's keys on, her house key on, and the little cute Frida that she made for me, and it makes me sad thinking about it right now, because I'm hoping we find those keys. But yeah, that episode, oh my god, what was I talking about? I totally stopped and I thought about Candace's keys. I lost track. Suck it. But in that episode, we talked about the keys missing. Yeah, so I like to know where my things are. That's where I was going. Fuck me, man. And my family lost my keys. So I'm hoping, and I already cleaned and looked for them numerous times. My dad, I swear my dad probably lost them. But then my sister says it might be in her shit. Maybe one of the kids grabbed my keys and put them somewhere because they're cute and it has Frida on it. I wish I would have taken a picture of it. Candace, if you're listening to it, I would like another keychain to put your key on, please. But anyway. I don't want her not to give me one because of my family losing it. Anyhow, symptoms of ADD. So, these random things that you do as a kid and as an adult, and things that you think that you're crazy by misplacing things or forgetting when you go into a room. I've been doing this my whole life. When I go into the room and I'm forgetting what the fuck did I come in here for? ADD. And then I'm probably also the fibrofog. But what the fuck, Chuck? Right? These things that we do that you think you're losing your fucking mind, and it's because you have a fucking clinical issue. So, you just have to deal with it. Some people need to get on medication. A lot of people need to get on medication. Some, where they have to learn tools as well because they're so all over the place. For myself, I am a self-learner because, hey, who isn't with ADD? But I go to therapy when I really have to, and I also make sure I learn things and take care of things. As I said in the last episode about health, where someone would tell me, hey, you're doing this shit, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm sorry, that is a not very good behavior, and I change it. Like, we have that ability. That bullshit, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Most people are like, well, I'm old, I can't do that. Oh, there's no changing her now. No, that is just fucking enabling people to be shitty. Be shitty. No, let's not do that. This is the health episode. Let's fucking be healthy. Let's fix things. Let's make things right, because you can't be a shitty piece of work, because everything affects the people around you. It affects your family. It affects your kids. It affects your dog. What if you forget something to do for the dog and the dog gets sick? What if you forget the dog's medicine? For yourself, what if you're supposed to be taking medication and you keep forgetting and you just keep getting worse? These things you have to keep yourself accountable. I am accountable for myself. Am I 100% perfect? Fuck no. Fuck that. I will never claim to ever be perfect, but I am the perfect girlfriend. Just so you know, anybody listening. Um, I'm not. I am flawed, but I make sure that I take care of you and make sure that you are good and that you have everything that you need. But I am also a human, so whatever. All right. So all of these things that we've done growing up that has been labeled as, you know, messy, disgusting, forgetful, all of these things are symptoms. So I'm going to go ahead and bring some list up if I can, because I don't know the password to my computer. Hold on. And that's another thing. Have you guys ever changed a password and then you're like, it is this, and then you fucking type it in and you're like, type it in and then it wasn't that? Like you made a mistake and you're like, what the fuck? I put it in right. But it wasn't in right, apparently, because it would have let you in. That's always the most frustrating thing for me. It's like, dude, I put the information in correctly. I know I did, but that simple tiny mistake just fucked you up. You couldn't get into your account. Oh my god. Let me take a breather here. All right. All right. See, excuse me. Being easily distracted. My teacher, the teacher that I love the most, the one that works with the FBI, she is always doing her, what are they called? Lectures, and doing something at the same time. So I hear her in the doing things, clicking her pen like this, you guys. Clicking her pen while she's talking, doing her lecture because it's recorded and posted in online. Or her dogs are barking, or she's walking around, or she's doing something. So all I can focus on is that damn pen clicking, her dogs barking and running around, her cooking dinner or whatever. And I told her last semester or the semester before, I said, she asked for any recommendations, and I said yes, I have ADD. It's really hard to focus on what you're saying when all the background noise is going on, and that's all. So yes, I'm easily distracted. I have difficulty following directions. Believe me, at this job, it was so hard in the beginning. There are so many steps to freaking do a earnings report for our customers. Eventually it's going to come out where I'm working. But I had to do an earnings report for one of my customers. And so you have to do these steps, and there's like so many steps, and you have to read all these directions, and everything's online. And because we're not in the office. So I did it, but I have to say it out loud. And when we go back to office, it's going to be horrible because I'm going to have to talk out loud because I have ADD. And this is the only way that I can really focus is if I talk to myself. I have difficulty staying on task, believe me. You guys can tell. Period. Forgetfulness. I've already hit that spot. Losing personal items, keys, books, things. Not paying attention to the details, which, yes, exactly. That's why I have to focus really hard. Problem staying organized. I'm organized to a certain extent. I know where everything is. My short attention span, no, yes. But when it's something super, super important to myself or that person, I make sure to focus hard. So with ADHD, there's the excessive talking, the unable to sit still, constantly fidgeting, being unable to concentrate, excessive physical movement, being unable to wait their turn, acting without thinking, interrupting conversations. So I do have a little bit of some of those, but not really. Before, when I was younger, I did, but as I grew older, as I grew up, Jesus Christ, that SI. As I've grown older, I have taught myself to not do these things. So, as I said, these things are, you can teach yourself. You can learn new ways. You can learn new things. And there's this damn mosquito in my room. As, I used to interrupt people in conversations, and I do it very slimly now. Don't do it as often as I used to. And it's always great when you're talking